Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast. And the chaos continues, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
It's the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Jeff will have the cruise in and events calendars. I'm going to have a special here on EVs. And Mr. Mars is going to do his driving destinations. It's all coming up in this portion of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for joining us, and howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, in Neaterville, Texas. We always need more Jeff Zekin, master studio and transmitter engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us on Valentine's Day. If you're listening on a podcast, that's when we have recorded this for you. If you're listening live, well, hugs and kisses. Let's do the story this hour, if you don't mind, because Mars needs some more time to get his act together over there.
All right,
and we're going to give him that. Automakers are unwinding their electric vehicle bets at a cost approaching, are you sitting down?
Yep.
$50 as in billion dollars, a stark measure of how much the industry misjudged what buyers would embrace and how fast. I think they said, we got to build one. And then they went, well, wait a minute, there's no infrastructure to support this.
They didn't get that wasn't part of the thought process.
Write-downs of investments in EV factory capacity, vehicle programs, and battery manufacturing have stained the balance sheets of General Motors, Ford, Stellantis, and Honda Motor Company in recent months. The charges range from an expected $1.9 billion by the end of March for Honda to roughly $26 billion for Stellantis, which didn't specify how much of what it called a reset of its business was EV-related. Automakers still plan to channel some profits from their gasoline vehicles into EVs and battery development and continue pushing for lower costs. We'll see if that happens. The charges follow years of dialing up EV development to keep up with increasingly stringent zero-emission regulations in the U.S. and Europe. Automakers also had to respond to competitive pressures from Tesla and startup EV manufacturers, Rivian and Lucid Motors, as well as the potential threat posed by up-and-coming Chinese automakers, and they are coming in strong.
Flooding it.
For a time, the market was definitely moving big time toward EVs, according to David Whiston, a U.S. auto senior equity analyst at Morningstar. Other CEOs, had they been in the shoes of GM's Mary Barra, Ford's Jim Farley, and former Stellantis chief Carlos Tavares, would have made similar moves, according to him. Mainstream U.S. buyers have proved reluctant to switch from combustion vehicles, citing higher purchase prices and concerns about battery range, charging speeds, and where to charge them. President Trump also moved quickly in his second term to relax federal regulations, ending penalties for non-compliance with fuel economy standards and scuttling the $7,500 federal tax credit that helped offset high EV sticker prices. The result? EV sales are slowing, and automakers are reassessing how much production capacity they need, converting some factory space back to combustion vehicles and canceling entire programs. U.S. buyers registered 1.3 million EVs in 2025 for a 7.8% share of the new light vehicle market, down slightly from 8% in 2024, according to S&P Global Mobility data. GM disclosed more than $7 billion in EV-related charges for 2025, and in January said it expects to take a lesser amount in such charges, but they don't say how much. The automaker canceled its Chevy Bright Drop electric commercial van and repurposed a planned electric pickup plant near Detroit to instead build gasoline trucks.
Thank you.
Ford's EV pivot will cost about $20.9 billion through 2027, slightly higher than it originally projected, though it took the bulk of the charges in late 2025. It canceled the F-150 Lightning electric pickup in December and instead plans to make an extended range model with a gasoline engine that acts as a generator. Ford previously canceled a pair of three-row electric crossovers. The company will record about $7 billion in charges this year. Some of the cash-related charges are settlements with suppliers that invested to add capacity based on automakers' projections that would build a certain number of EVs, according to Mike Ward, a U.S. auto analyst at Citigroup. Stellantis previewed $26 billion in charges February 6th, ahead of releasing its full 2025 financial results later in the month. On a call with analysts, Stellantis said substantially reduced EV volume and profit projections are anticipated. Automakers revising their EV strategies to better fit the market. They're all trying, but boy, I'll tell you what, they got some catching up to do.
One thing I didn't hear in that, Volkswagen is part of that too. I read in that same similar story that Volkswagen has taken that bus may not be around very much longer.
Yeah, the VW mini microbus
Micro,
or whatever they
calling
call it. Yeah,
Right.
What a disappointment. It's hard for me to understand. Even though they swore up and down that the EV thing was going to go big, if you're going to design something and you've got two forms of powering the vehicles, you got gasoline over here and you got electric over here, why not build a platform that accepts both? Mm-hmm. And that way you kind of hedge the bet, I think, because if the EV isn't selling this year because it's priced too high, then put a gasoline engine in it. But I don't think that they can do that with everything.
No,
Some
I
of
don't
them are
think so.
designed strictly for electric power.
I think that's true, and they're also trying to look 3-4 years out. They used to plan 5 years out. So if you got the regulators sitting here on top of you saying you've got to meet this criteria by these dates, come hell or high water, we're not giving you any slack, then you're kind of forced. They got forced to go into a certain direction and putting those resources in there in a hurry. They didn't really have time to think about it and be logical like you're talking about, I think.
Well, did you see some of the size of these battery factories that they're currently building? Huge. Like these ginormous Amazon warehouses that we see around Houston, all over the place.
Yeah.
These things are like 10 times the size.
Yeah.
It's like the size of a factory that would turn out a car.
And what are they going to do with them if the EV market shrinks enough that they don't need all that capacity?
Well, one of them, and I can't say for all of them, but one of them has already said, hey, we've got deals, this battery factory, manufacturer, we've got deals with several automobile manufacturers. So at least they hedge their bet as opposed to GM saying, well, we're going to build batteries just for us.
Well, that's part of the money they're losing because they had to pay all these vendors off for the contracts that they didn't abide by. That's what that's all about there too.
Yeah, I wonder how many
whole lot.
people lost their
Yeah.
jobs over this.
Probably quite a few.
I mean, the ones
Not
that
as
said,
many
oh,
as going to.
Right.
Well,
but-
that's true.
And it's the money that's the large amount, not the people that's the large amount that are going to lose their jobs. So they're talking about all this inflated money, What there's the folks that work there.
I tell you what, I think that the silly thing that Toyota did, 25 years ago? They came out with this ugly little car called a Toyota Prius, and everybody laughed at it and made fun of it and all of that sort of thing.
And then here comes GM trying to copy it.
And now they're all doing it because it's a hybrid. Mm-hmm. It's got a gasoline motor in it, and it's got a battery in it, and it gets 50 miles per gallon. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
Well, a lot of people, including us, were talking about that years ago, that seemed to be the way to go, at least through the transition. And if people would have went that way with a transition plan to go from the hybrid to the plug-in, et cetera, they wouldn't be so deep into it now. And it might save them a lot.
well,
Could have.
I'll
So
tell
what
you
has been is what will be.
The majority of the cars that I get to drive, I get fortunate that I get to drive a new, different car every week, and people going, how do you get that deal? You don't deserve that. Well, probably don't deserve it. But, back in the day when I was doing this stuff, when I started, what was it, 1999, I think, I got to drive the new Prius. And now most of the cars that I get are hybrids. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely love them. I hate it when I get a pure EV because I don't have the charging structure here at my house. If I charge it at all here, it's on 110 volts. And I guess I could stretch the extension cord from the back of the wall in the garage all the way out to the driveway, but I haven't done that yet. Maybe I will this summer.
It takes
don't wanna do
days
that,
to do
yeah.
that, though,
Well,
whenever you charge
cord
it
gets
that
all
way.
heated.
Well, it does, and it's funny because as time goes by, and I get different vehicles. I had one just recently. I can't remember the name of it. Used a Tesla charger, but the battery structure itself took a full charge, in my 8-hour workday at the airport.
Wow.
And it used the Tesla charger. I don't know whether it was the charger or the battery. I don't know what it was. But boy, I'll tell you what, I got a full charge out of that thing. And I never had to go and buy a fast charge, which is a total and complete ripoff.
Yeah. So as a PSA out there to all the automotive manufacturers, if you need a decision made and you're unsure, contact Mike at info@inwheeltalk. We will help you with that decision.
He's
We will
got a car
guide you
for
through
He's
it.
got a car on the lot. It's sitting right behind him
Don't
right
make
now.
any
as a matter
rash
of fact.
decisions about production. Just contact Mike. We'll get you going in the right direction.
We'll fix you up.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll fix you up.
That's our PSA for the day.
Okay. Mr. Mars,
Yes, sir.
we've kind of stretched this out just for you.
Well, I
So-
appreciate that.
Yeah, so you can do the complete and full
I got it, Mike.
driving destinations.
Cool. Well, I want a disclaimer here on this very first one.
Oh,
I'm gonna
God,
put a
here we go.
disclaimer out
Yeah.
that we're not encouraging anybody to go road racing or anything like that. But a lot of people do enjoy driving, and they do enjoy the way their car handles in some driving situations, such as FM 170 River Road. Now, this is down in the Big Bend State Park. Now, this is a 30-mile drive that runs between Lajitas and Presidio. But again, this is the Big Bend State Park, not the Big Bend National Park, which is across the highway. This is the biggest park inside the state of Texas, 311,000 acres. Got a lot of desert scenery, long sight lines, which is important, minimal traffic. So it's great for focused driving. But be careful, there's not a lot of fuel, and there's definitely no place to charge your EV down in that part of the world. Another place you might want to go to, but it's a little further up north, is the Palo Duro Canyon Loop. Now, this is up in the Panhandle. It's got sweeping canyon views and red rock backdrops. Now, what this does, though, it actually drops you down into what's considered the Grand Canyon of Texas. A lot of smooth curves, elevation changes, and you get up against the wall of the canyon. Really nice, and it's perfect for a scenic drive. It's only 16 miles long, but it takes between 60 and 90 minutes to actually make this drive.
Wow.
And you may have heard of this Palo Duro Canyon because that's where you're going to also find the Texas Outdoor Musical Amphitheater. And I know a lot of people have gone up there to see that musical, and they've never taken this road to drive down into the canyon and stuff, where I think you might enjoy that as well. Then you get a little bit closer to home. We can go to the Devil's Backbone Run, which is Rural Route 32. Now, this goes between Wimberley and Blanco, and it runs a scenic ridge line down through the hill country. Now, I've been on part of this through the rolling hills and the curves. Got some nice tight bends to go along with the big views on it. And so it's got a lot of flowers during the spring, and it's got an elevated driving experience because of the way the road is laid out. And this is also considered the most haunted road in Texas.
Wow.
If you want to go hunting for ghosts. Then we get a little bit even closer. Inks Lake. Now, this is near Burnett, and it goes through a lot of the granite that's up there in that part of the world alongside Inks Lake. And it's actually was created as a shortcut, basically, to go from one highway to another and to get to the lake once they did that. And it's short. It's only 15.5 miles, but there is 400-foot elevation changes inside this little parkway run. The next one would be on Park Road 37. Now, this is Medina Lake. Now, this is up north of San Antonio. Been up there several times, and this is considered the Nuremberg of Texas. So it's short, but it's got very sharp curves, quick elevation shifts, and there's not much shoulders. You're actually on Highway 16 coming out of San Antonio, headed up towards Bandera whenever you can cut across on this. Then we get to the one that we are closest to and the one that you hear the most about. And this is Twisted Sisters in the Texas Hill Country. Now, this place is legendary, and it was originally called Three Sisters. But because of the curves and the motorcycles and things that go up there on the switchbacks, the blind crest, they've changed it to the Twisted Sisters is what it's more commonly called now. Long sweepers through the ranch land, limestone cliffs. Now, I will say that between 2010 and 2024, there were 259 reported accidents on this road.
Wow.
249 were listed as driver cause. 191 left the roadway. 167 involved speeding. Now, this is very popular place for
Come on.
motorcycles out there on the weekend. They tell me that there's a lot of them. If you're in your car and you want to experience this roadway, you ought to go during the week if possible. But those are a few of the places in Texas that you can go around and have a little more driver experience in your car if you would like to.
Where is Twisted Sisters?
It's up north of Wimberley. I'm trying to, and my mind went blank. I'm flipping back around here to it.
Okay.
And you can go up through there in Green. You go up through Green, and you can find it up through that way.
So north of Austin.
Yeah, kind of north.
Yeah, north and
West.
yeah,
it's west of Austin and Wimberley and stuff. So it's a
Wimberley's
100-mile loop.
Yep.
So it's one of the bigger ones.
You're probably on some of it, not the actual road, but that type of road when you go up to Wimberley, because there's a lot of that switchback and up in the mountains. And
Yes. Yeah. So you get up into the hill country, there's a lot of
it's very
places
pretty.
that you can do it.
And
But,
Mike, the bluebonnets are coming out. I'm hearing that West Texas has got some bluebonnets already blooming.
Yeah, they
so-
got a lot of water, a lot of
Right.
rain this year, so we got a lot of moisture in the ground, so that helps the bluebonnet crop,
Yeah. Keep
among
us
other
informed.
things.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had a freeze around these parts, and I don't know, it may delay the blooming of the bluebonnets out here. But I will tell you that they're close by the Houston area,
Yep.
and within an hour's drive, you can have
Exactly.
whole fields of bluebonnets, and that's
Oh, yeah.
something else. Maybe that would be an idea for your next driving destination,
exactly.
the bluebonnet run.
Don't pick them.
Yeah.
It's against
No,
the
it's
law
just-
to pick
it's
them.
yeah.
You
Or
get a lot of
kill 'em or lay
places.
down on them or anything.
Yeah, people will go out and they'll park on the side of the shoulder where they can, and they'll go out in the hill and take pictures of the kids and stuff.
And if it's private property, you better ask permission.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of
Nobody asks. We're car guys. We don't ask permission. You ask for forgiveness.
well,
I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Get out of here. Okay.
well, when you hop the fence and the bull's riding,
Yeah,
run
that's
at
the
you,
problem. You got to
that's-
kind of look and see what's on the other side of that fence first.
All
Be
right.
careful.
Coming up. Let's see. We're running short of time
It's
here.
okay.
Coming up,
You're
Jeff has
good.
the cruise in and events calendars, and I'll have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. We invite you to stay with us here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We'll be back after this quick break. The Tailpipes and Tacos renowned cruise-in expands to Beaumont. Golden Triangle cruisers will want to experience Tailpipes and Tacos at the Loopy Tortilla, I-10 South in Beaumont near Washington Boulevard. Grab free Loopy breakfast tacos with any donation to Shirley's Kids. Enjoy a coffee or an adult beverage. Every cruise-in vehicle is automatically entered to win one of the beautiful Chili Pepper trophies for Best Hot Rod, Classic, and Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos Beaumont happens Saturday morning, March 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. If you're a car geek like we are, this is the event you'll want to attend. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be online live, and you may be interviewed about your ride. Tailpipes and Tacos Beaumont edition, Saturday, March 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Loopy Tortilla, 2050 I-10 South in Beaumont. The Katy Tailpipes and Tacos happens Easter Saturday, April 4th, 8 to 11. The free Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In is a production of Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex, Beaumont, and Katy. Tastes pretty good. Apple or Android, In Wheel Time podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and jonesing for a different kind of car talk show, give In Wheel Time a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture and Mike's Driving Destinations, all on In Wheel Time. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon, through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, and we know you love lists. Talk show. We really appreciate you joining us today on this Valentine's Day.
All right.
We got some storms going to be rolling through here later on tonight.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
if you're going to be
true.
out and about, be sure and take an umbrella. Or this morning I heard Kevin Roth, the Channel 13 weather guy, say, take a poncho.
There you
Remember
go.
ponchos?
Poncho.
Yeah, yeah.
Plastic ponchos? You probably got a whole closet full
I've
of them over
actually
there,
had a
Mars.
customer
I
order
do.
a bunch of them.
Really?
Catch them every once in a while on sale for $1 a piece.
Okay, well, that's
You know,
good to
trash
know.
bag will work just as good.
Time now for the
Or-
cruise
yeah.
in and events calendars.
Here we go. Next Saturday, February 21st, 8 to noon. It's Tint World Automotive Styling Centers.
Wait.
What'd you say?
What did you say?
Tint World Automotive
He's
Styling
saying
Tint,
Tint.
World. Yeah.
T-I-N-T.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an N in there that I think that he kind of skipped over.
I've got a list.
I thought y'all had a new place over there, something I missed.
Well, we do, and it's at 553 South Business I-35 in New Braunfels.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's going to be rushing up there
This
now.
Tint World Automotive Styling Centers hosts Cars and Coffee on the third Saturday of
Jeff,
every month.
Look at me. Tint.
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 World.
There's
Okay.
an N in there.
It's a world.
Okay.
Anyways, go on out there. It's they support Toys for Tots. The next Saturday, we've got Porsche Car Show. Did I pronounce that right? Porsche Car Show.
Porsche.
405 2nd Street in Kemah, down there on the coast. Porsche Car Shows is scheduled Saturday, February 21st at the Classics in Kemah, Texas. It'll feature selections of vehicles, include check-in and staging from 8 to 9. They'll close the check-in at 9. The car show goes on, and they'll be judging about 1 o'clock. It concludes then.
So they can listen to our show then.
Absolutely. Then you got top-notch Austin Vintage VW Night next Saturday. That's at 7525 Burnett Road in Austin. Hot Rod Nights is a reoccurring event. Classic cars, live music from 5:30 to 9. Food offerings include charcoal hamburgers, fried chicken, and dining
charcoal
room.
hamburgers.
And they've even got curb service. Now, this kind of relates to on the first Saturday it's in Burnett, the second Saturday it's in Hutto. So check your local listings, and there's different areas to meet up. Then next Sunday you've got Danny's Show and Shine. Good for Danny. 3232 Briarcrest Drive in Bryan, Texas. It's the 22nd of February, which is next Sunday. It's at the Brazos Center Pavilion in Bryan, Texas. The event will feature free show, music, awards, include Best of Show and Best Hot Rod. And lastly, we have Jeep Days. This is in Navasota. It's at 1863 County Road 306. Get out there. It goes from 11 to 3:30 p.m. So they've got foods and all kinds of stuff going on out there. Take a trip in your Jeep. Go out and check them out.
And I just got a text from my good friend of mine, Candace Thackeray Sneed, who we discussed on this show before. She says, "Happy Valentine's Day, my sweet elementary school friend." Yeah,
You.
me, yeah, to me. And of course, George Skelton, he also is my elementary school friend. And it's
Now, did you and Candace and George all hang out together, or was it different schools?
No, we were at the same school, but the in my era, the classes were packed. We had 30 kids.
Well,
it
was a one-room schoolhouse.
Yeah.
It was not a one-room schoolhouse. Thank you very much. No, there were lots of kids there, and they brought in shacks, and the shacks were basically World War II bunkhouses that they put in place,
like
and they
Quonset
put
huts,
two classrooms in each one of those. So dealt with a lot of that, but.
Well,
I did hear from George this week. He is doing better, and his
Good.
cancer is in remission. He said, "I still have 2 more chemo treatments to take," and he wasn't looking forward to them. I said,
you gotta take them.
Got to hang in there, though.
Yeah, you
Gotta hang in there. Yeah. So we love you guys, and thanks for
Happy
reaching
Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Candace.
Heisen had a little surgery too, so
out.
we're
Did
all
he?
getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's this. It's
I've
happening.
had
Everybody.
mine years ago, and I'm done.
Honda called for a fundamental review of the automobile strategy after mounting losses on electric vehicles drove the company's beleaguered auto business deeper into the red and forced executives to warn of increased incentives and a shift to more fleet sales. Automakers' write-offs and expenses for its premature wager on EVs ballooned to $1.71 billion in the 9 months ended December 31st.
Wow.
Moody's Ratings downgraded Stellantis, their credit rating, citing the car maker's warning that a recovery in profitability will take longer than expected due to the costs of scaling back its electric vehicle plans. We went over all of this earlier, but to remind you that Stellantis electric vehicle registrations fell last year for the first time in at least a decade following the repeal of the federal EV tax credit. Although the drop was modest, EV registrations declined 0.4% compared with a year earlier to 1.3 million vehicles, according to S&P Global Mobility. EV share of the light vehicle market fell to 7.8% from 8% a year earlier. Holding up the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge, as President Trump threatened to do February 10th, would hurt businesses of various industries on each side of the U.S.-Canada border, including the auto industry, experts say. Ongoing battle between the U.S. and Canada has gotten away with a lot of stuff over the years, and so they raised the tariffs on a lot of different things, but there's also the overriding USMCA agreement.
Right.
And that's U.S.,
That was during the
Mexico,
Bush
and
days.
Canada.
Yeah.
So that kind of rules the car thing. So it's a big mess.
With the bridge, each country paid for their side of the bridge. So, I mean, I don't know why. I get it.
I don't know either.
And
I don't
Gordie
know
Howe
either.
is an icon.
We
Come
love
on.
Gordie Howe.
I
Were
met
you
Gordie
living
Howe
here
when I was a
then?
little kid.
Do you remember Gordie Howe when he played for the Houston Aeros in the WHA? And then they brought his sons, Mark and Marty
Yep.
Howe, and they all skated together in what was the Compact Center. Okay, and I will never forget those. The whole team protected Gordie because he was old.
Yeah.
And somebody got in a tiff with him from the other team, not realizing that the entire team would come out on the ice and pummel this idiot who got into it with Gordie Howe.
That's-
Now, let me tell you something. Gordie Howe, at 50 years of age, could still take care of himself.
Well, see, that's
very
what we
well.
do. When we go on remorse, we kind of get around you to protect you that way, too.
That's right. For people
Right, Mike?
wanting to kill
Yeah.
me, Mars. You hear that?
Protect-
Yeah. So there's that. Robotaxi operators are preparing to scale across the U.S. as Waymo, Tesla, and others battle for early market share, but recent injury crashes and traffic violations are testing public acceptance despite robust safety claims. The industry has seen how quickly public trust can unravel. Uber shuttered its self-driving program after a 2018 fatal crash while testing in Arizona. The Cruise did the same thing after a pedestrian was dragged under one of its cars in San Francisco. So be on the lookout for any of those robo-taxis around. Zook's robo-taxi in San Francisco hit a parked car after the driver opened a door into its path on January 17th. Robo-taxi identified the opening door and tried to avoid it, but contact was unavoidable. And the list goes on and on. I did want to mention that the fact of talking about robo-taxis, new cities for robo-taxis will include Dallas, Houston,
Oh, boy.
Detroit, Nashville, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and the list goes on and on.
We'll have to get back to Wallet Hub after we've had it for a while and see where the worst problems
They might be
are.
working on that now, yeah.
Yeah. Newest version of the venerable and top-selling Toyota nameplate will be short one thing that all of its predecessors for the last 25 years have had, an engine. The 2027 Toyota Highlander will have a far more spacious interior than the outgoing model because it will transition to be an electric-only
Lordy.
vehicle. There you go.
We just had an hour and a half discussion on that.
I know
Yeah,
that.
but see, I think that's another one of those things they're in too deep to stop now.
I agree.
Yeah,
and
I think
will
you're
they
right.
sell it? Who
Yeah.
knows? Time will tell.
Eventually, you got to cut your losses.
Yeah,
I
but they
guess
can't
so.
cut their losses and write it off if they don't try and sell it and prove that it's a loss.
We're going to wrap up today's show after this quick break. Stay with us. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches millions of folks around the globe each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, YouTube, Facebook, and don't forget our podcasts. Catch our live show every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guests, new car reviews, along with popular features, including driving destinations, Jeff's car culture, the latest car news, cruise-ins, and racing days. It's all on InWheelTime.com. Join us. Well, that's all for this week's In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure, I mean absolutely be sure, that you check us out online at InWheelTime.com. We're always looking for new and informative and great automotive things to bring to our global audience. If you have an idea, anything like that, road trip, tall tale, let us know. Our email address is info@InWheelTime.com.
Truth or dare?
Yeah. Here's that. Hey, when you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7. on In Wheel Time, the app, the website. Grab a podcast from your favorite podcast store. We video stream our live show every Saturday, 10 to noon on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In Wheel Time video coordinator is We Always Need More, Jeff Zekin. The booking agent and video editor, Mike Out of This World Mars, and chief engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Thanks to our weekly show contributors, Jeff Heitzman and George Skelton. Happy Valentine's Day, which I found out there was a pre-K student that Katie had back in the day, and she was taught that because that's the way the women pronounced Valentine's. Have a great weekend.
Okay.
Stay safe. So long for now. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.